Fabio Wardley Frazer Clarke, the first one was so good, so good. Now, I want to first go over to Ben Shalom, who of course represents Frazer Clarke. Ben, state your case. Why is your man going to get the job done on Saturday?
Look, first of all, I want to echo those words. Thank you to Riyadh Season. Thank you to His Excellency. It's an honour to be here. To have Chris Eubank Jr. and Ben Whittaker on the same card. To have Jack Massey taking on an absolute dream fight against Jai Opetaia. And then for me to get the best fight of the year on again, the rematch for Frazer Clarke. I think ultimately, when Frazer first took on this fight, it was very, very early on in his career. He still has the chance to become the fastest heavyweight to a British title ever if he wins on Saturday night. I believe it's his time. It was a very, very good fight the first time. I think Frazer's learned the worth of 3 or 4 fights from that first fight. I think it's time to step up a level. I think he's going to show his pedigree. I think he's going to show his class. People talk about round 13, but I think this can be a different fight, a fight where Frazer Clarke really makes his name in the heavyweight division.
Thank you, Ben. Let's hear from Frazer Clarke. Frazer, I've heard you say that you are 1,000,000% ready for this fight and you just can't wait to hit something. Well, that something is someone. He sat over there. It's Fabio Wardley, itching, ready to go.
Again, I just want to thank everyone for making this possible. Big shout out to my amateur boxing club, Burton-on-Trent ABC. I started there at 11 years old, and to be in this position now is incredible. And yeah, thank you to everyone who's been part of the journey. Saturday night, you're right, Dev. You know, I've been itchy knuckles now. It's been a long week. Felt like I've repeated myself a million times. But the talking's nearly over, and it's almost time, yeah, to land them gloves on Fabio.
You've been pretty emphatic in saying this time you will win by knockout. You will knock out Fabio Wardley. Did you see things in the first fight to suggest that you can indeed do that?
I got a lot of belief from the first fight, Dev, and this time the mission is seek and destroy. I've done everything in the gym to make sure that happens. I'm switched on, focused, and my desire and my hunger to become a British champion is as big as ever.
Well, let's see what the desire and hunger is like from Fabio Wardley. Fabio, in the first fight, an absolute thriller. You knocked down Frazer Clarke. How can you keep him down?
Yeah, look, the first fight was a thriller. Sometimes you need the right dance partner, to bring out those kind of special fights, special occasions. And for me, there seems to be something between me and Frazer that we gel. Those fights come together. I even remember coming to Riyadh to commentate on the Fury Usyk card, and His Excellency himself obviously watching the fight and saying, when are you going to do the rematch? We want to see it, we want to see it. And I said, as soon as you say the word go, I'm ready to go. And thank you to you, His Excellency, for having me out here again. I had the opportunity, honoured enough to be here for the first ever Riyadh season, obviously with Fury and Ngannou, and I'm back again for the opening of Riyadh season. And so thank you to him. But looking towards Saturday night, look, I saw the damage and the effect that my punches had on Frazer Clarke in the first fight. So there's areas of mistake I made there. A few little minor tweaks needed to be made on the follow-up. I think he got away with it a bit by, like you say, Dev, I knocked him down, but I think it was, he was saved by the bell. It was bang on the end of the round. So look, if I get him going in the first minute, second minute, one thing you know about me is I don't let my opponents breathe. Once I have them going, once I have them hurt, they don't usually end up making it out of that ring.
Are you expecting the same Frazer Clarke that you saw before? We spoke about this earlier in the week, and you mentioned you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Is that very much what you're thinking?
Yeah, look, I think he's smart enough as a boxer to make some adjustments. Whether they will have an impact and whether he'll be able to execute them on the night is a different question entirely. But yeah, look, I do have a strong belief in you can't teach an old dog new tricks, especially when it comes to me, the way I've come into boxing, the way I've done things has been so different, and I've learned on the fly, and I can always change and I can always adapt. So in the middle of the fight, I can change things entirely, and I don't think that's the same for him. He's boxed a very similar way for a long period of his career. So once things start to get a bit heated in there, once sweat starts going and blood starts flying, I think he's going to resort back to kind of just what he knows normally, and that's going to be my area for attack.
Well, Frazer, I'm not going to call you an old dog, but can you learn new tricks? Have you got something new for Fabio Wardley on Saturday?
Dev, with all due respect, I've got nothing else to say really. Seek and destroy, and that's it. I've come for a fight. We've got a fight on Saturday night. Tune in and watch. It's going to be destructive.
That is the prediction. That is the war cry from Frazer Clarke. Fabio Wardley, how do you respond? What is going to happen on Saturday? Give us your final prediction.
Look, Dev, with me, it's war by name, war by nature. Wardley's in the name. It's all there. You know what you're going to get. I've said it from the start. I'm not coming to Riyadh season. I'm not coming to the biggest stage, the biggest event, one of the biggest boxing events to happen in years, and not perform and not put on a show. So for me, it's that bell goes, knuckle up, walk forward, round 13, carry on. Let's get things moving.
Let's go. Come on, Fab. Handshake now. I know we're going to do a face-to-face in a minute. Let's do one now.
An impromptu handshake here between Frazer Clarke and Fabio Wardley. I don't know if we need security. Thank you very much, Frazer the Eraser Clarke. Thank you, Fabio Wardley. What a fight.